We gathered here for not only discussing theoretical questions. For the last few days, we could observe real, authentic conflict between our two participants. If you don't like something, say it. This is one of many ways to resolve our problem in communication.
You cannot believe. Not enough that as I told you, he snore all night. You don't believe. It's not enough that I took my mattress, I slept outside, I was freezing all night. This is not funny. I was freezing all night. And then in the morning, what? Guess what? I wake up at 9:45. Why? I put my alarm clock for 9. But I didn't hear anything. But of course, in the night, I forgot my mobile, in the room, my alarm clock. And Mark closed it. I came and I saw my mobile. It was closed. So he closed it and he didn't wake me up. And he left for a breakfast. And then I was I wake up and I really rush into the shower. And while I was in the shower, I hear somebody enter. I come up in the shower. It was 5 to 10. I see Mark came back to the room and he's sleeping. So then I had a choice to make. I saw him sleeping. I saw the time was 3 minutes before 10. At 10 o'clock, the session started. So I was walking very silently to the door. I went out and I closed the door. I didn't wake him up. So he will be late for the session. Little revenge. Each one gets what he needs. Each one gets what he deserves.
Mark and Yoram are living in the same room, and exactly in this room, real-world conflict took place. Who is the victim and whom you can blame?
So when we got to the hotel, I met Yoram, and we got to the room, and eventually I told him what kind of a roommate I might be. I said, well, I snore, I have insomnia, sometimes I have nightmares, right? And I sometimes sleep with the light on, right? So I said, if you don't like that as a roommate, just for your own concern, you might suggest that you find a different room immediately. So that night I go to sleep. And middle of the night, I wake up and Yoram is moving his stuff outside. Now it's -3 degrees out there, okay? This ain't the summer in Texas. This is Georgia, okay? So he's moving his stuff outside, mattress, blankets and everything, right? I'm like, what? And I go back to sleep. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I try to get Yoram to wake up, and I say, hey, I'm going downstairs. You can sleep in your bed, move your stuff. But he doesn't wake up. So I go downstairs, and I'm down there for a couple hours, and I find Georgie, one of the trainers. I say, hey, Georgie, Yoram is outside sleeping. He's going to freeze to death. So Georgie comes up to the room and sees him. He's like, well, I don't know if we're really responsible. Leaves him alone. 7 o'clock in the morning, runs around. I go back to the room around 9:30, 9:45, and I go to sleep again because I think that your arm is fine. So I go to sleep, and I don't wake up until around 10:30 in the morning. So I get up, I go to the seminar, and I find that Yoram has basically said a bunch of things about me that I had no idea that I did. He accused me of turning his alarm clock off and not waking him up, which I thought was a little bit passive-aggressive. So I confronted him about it, and I said, hey man, why did you talk to me before you did that? To which he justly apologized.
Excuse me, do you mean that you left the room before 8:45?
No, I didn't leave the room before 8:45.
You didn't hear my alarm clock.
I wasn't in the room then.
So you left the room before 8:45.
I left the room at 5:10 in the morning. I tried to wake you up.
5.
I tried to wake you up. And then around 7 o'clock, I went to get Georgie to try to wake you up because I was worried about yourself freezing to death.
Sorry.
Hey, it's no big deal. I was just looking out for you.
I fucked it up.
Yeah, you did. You fucked it up big time. I'm sure they're going to bleep that out.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. Words.
I will say every word.
All right. That's good. That's good. Problem solved.